So let's talk about the coronavirus. And because you think I have some crazy thoughts about this.
I just imagine you fucking crazy.
Well, I like Twitter.
Corn people.
Yeah, well, that's something I'd have to get into later. But I like Twitter. I've liked Twitter for a long time now.
Yeah.
And I like to follow Twitter drama, and I like to create Twitter drama. But I didn't create what happened with Zero Hedge. Did you hear about that?
No, go.
Okay, so Zero Hedge
thing.
got Zero Hedge is online publication that publishes all different kinds of alternative. I would say like it's an alternative news site that focuses a lot on finance and yada yada, that kind of stuff. They had something like
that explains the name Zero Hedge.
Yeah, they had something like 2 million plus.
Dope name actually.
Yeah, 2 million plus followers on Twitter, and they got permanently suspended from Twitter.
So banned. Is there any difference between a permanent suspension and a fucking ban?
Yeah, I think they could just up and delete your account, but
Okay.
or something along those lines. But anyway, what happened was a BuzzFeed journalist reported that they doxed a Chinese scientist, and if you go and like look at the article itself. They're talking about how like in Wuhan, that's where it all began. Like the coronavirus began, and they say, well, it happened because of the food markets and their bat soup and yada yada. Well, there's also
fucking bat soup.
Yeah, bat soup. It actually sounds kind of tasty.
No, it doesn't. Like the fur and shit is still on the bat. It's just like a fucking.
Is that true, or is that just the memes?
So. I don't know. I saw a video of like them tearing at the leathery
God, that's
wings.
disgusting.
It looked like they just boiled a fucking bat in water.
Yeah, well,
the broth also comes from the bat and whatever shit it had on it when we threw it in this fucking water. It looks terrible.
Well, I don't know. That does sound a little unappetizing. Yeah, maybe. But anyway, it turns out that there's also a bioweapons lab in Wuhan.
It's
that's
like a mile or two away.
Yeah,
it's very close. Yeah.
That had a sample of the coronavirus.
Yes.
And so what?
They were probably just doing routine stuff there. There was nothing to see here. Nothing
Yeah,
nefarious.
Right. Yeah.
Do not connect the bioweapons lab to this outbreak right beside it.
Yeah,
that
well,
China's freaking out about.
That's
Do
what
not connect.
That's what Zero Hedge did, was basically say, oh, and this is the doctor specializing it. BuzzFeed was like, hey, you can't just like...
Wait a minute, you can't report real news. You'll put BuzzFeed out of business.
Yeah.
How can we compete with that?
Reporting real news? That's a racism.
Wait till CNN finds out about this.
So fucking BuzzFeed had them like banned for life from Twitter for this. Meanwhile, like it sends Zero Hedge's traffic up into like everything they publish now must be true. That's what everyone's thinking, and so they have like all these different quote unquote conspiracy theories that might actually be true. Who knows? And then you have some that I guess were debunked, like that coronavirus has like the pieces of the HIV virus in it or something like that.
I can't believe you said that because I thought of the dumbest. I was almost going to cut you off with something dumb, and the dumbest thing I could think of in like half a second was like AIDS. When you said I was almost like the coronavirus has AIDS, and I was like, so fucking stupid. It's not even funny.
It's bat AIDS.
Bat AIDS. I was like, just don't even say it. That's not even funny. Just listen to whatever crazy shit he's gonna say, and then just say HIV.
Yeah. Well,
oh
some
my
like
fucking god.
Apparently that had like started spreading in India. I'm talking about the rumor, not the AIDS. That was definitely
the AIDS. That did spread. That spreads everywhere.
That spreads everywhere. So then you have the World Health Organization, led by some guy who is like, I don't know, he's just some guy who keeps on like sucking the cock of China, saying, well, we can't let this lead to any kind of boycotts of their goods or like any kind of economic disturbance. It's like,
well, yeah, how are they going to afford their bat soup?
Well,
you got to sell a lot of little Matchbox cars to make a decent bowl of bat soup.
Yeah. I mean, that's
fucking racist. Like you wouldn't understand.
Stuff doesn't come cheap, obviously.
You know how hard it is to catch a bat that big?
We're
going all in on this.
God help us if this is just like marketing for the new Batman movie. Fucking like killing half the population just to sell tickets. Terrible.
It's like screaming as they put it in the boiling water. And Batman's voice dubs it over, I am the night.
Wait, would he like come and rescue the bats that are like being eaten or something? Or because like I guess as a Batman, he doesn't really
His
stick
cave
up.
is full of rescue bats.
Rescue bats. That like some of them are disabled and stuff like this. It's like, and this little guy only has one wing. He was eaten by a Chinaman.
So anyway, it's a fucking bioweapon or something.
No, we don't know that for sure, but some of our senators, like I think Senator Tom Cotton said, like this is a bioweapon, and China's like, dude, rude. Wow.
What did they actually said that shit? Like whenever like everyone was pointing at it and be like, hey, you have 2 million Muslims in internment camps, you fucking psychos, and they were like, that is very rude.
Wow, rude.
Like they legit said it was rude
to like bring that up.
To bring it up, I'm like, you don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, and so it's
like,
a pretty good conversation stopper.
I guess it is rude, but you fucking monster. You've got a concentration, 2 million people in a concentration
But you know,
camp.
like what's funny with them is like, yes, well, you enslaved black people and discriminate against them to this day. It's like all right. They always like point out like our problems or like
and like in so doing step up like their own like fucking shitty behavior optics.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah, it's pretty good though. It's very clever.
Yeah,
you know.
it's fair enough.